Tonight, the stars and the cars of the DRTV Premiere Cup Series go to a place where danger lurks around every corner, where hopes and dreams can be dashed with a single blink of an eye. It's Talladega Superspeedway, and we're about ready to burn it down. So grab a drink, a snack, and strap yourself in, because you're in for a wild ride next on DRTV on the DRL Network.
And we welcome you to DRL Network live coverage of a DRTV Premiere Cup Series, coming to you live tonight from a Talladega Superspeedway in Talladega, Alabama. A full field of cars here, 30 drivers ready to take the green flag. And we're going to have it here live covered flag to flag here, 66 laps tonight here at Talladega. Welcome aboard, everybody. My name is Phil LaCasse, along with my broadcast partners, Too Tall Todd staying up here in the booth, and Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton, as always, in the DRTV control booth. A great field of cars here, Todd, we have on hand. These guys have been practicing for about an hour and a half. We just got through time trials and about a minute away from getting under the green flag, but this is going to be an awesome race here. Just looking at these guys drafting in and out in practice, I think we're in for a whale of a show here tonight, as we always see when we come to Talladega.
Yeah, as I said in the intro, danger lurks around every corner. You're always looking for that big one that's going to lurk around every corner. Is something going to happen, or are we going to go green to check it here tonight at the Talladega Super Speedway? We're going to have to just wait and see, Phil. I'm ecstatic for Talladega. I always am. It's 3 and 4 wide. There's all kinds of craziness going around this track.
Yeah, there's craziness on the racetrack. There's craziness in the infield. It's us all part of the party atmosphere. Anytime we come to Talladega, we've been here numerous times before. And Rich Patton, we find our way back to Talladega here once again, and this time for the Premiere Cup Series. But so far in 2016, we see some great racing. We've seen here at Daytona a few months ago, an awesome race on the Super Speedway, and I think here at Talladega tonight, we're in for another good one.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I think we got a full field here tonight. Like you mentioned, 30 cars out on the track, all these guys, talented drivers in this series. So should see some pretty good racing out of these guys. They're going to hit 66 laps around this 2.66 tri-mile track. It looks like the fuel window is going to be between 18 and 20 laps. We're on a 2X tire. We're realistic damage. So we know realistic damage is going to play a part in that. We're going to have to see who can keep their cars clean and avoid the big one, because you know this is Talladega.
No, you're right. You're right, Rich. Talladega, it's all about avoiding the big one at all costs. You got to keep your nose clean. And Todd Stanton, we've talked about numerous times here on a Saturday night here this season, realistic damage in a place like a Talladega Superspeedway, you certainly don't want to be tore up at all, because aerodynamics plays such a huge critical key here.
Yeah, drafting is a huge key at the Talladega Superspeedway. One of my favorite tracks to race as a superspeedway. I like this track. It's 2.66 miles, like we were saying, over the Daytona track. It's a little bit wider, more racier for me, myself, in my opinion, Phil. So you're normally going to see 3 and 4 wide. What groove do you think tonight is going to prevail? I know we're racing Talladega, the 1.4 edition here tonight, I believe, or Talladega 2014, excuse me, from Safer Barrier Projects. What lane prevails here at this Talladega versus some of the other Talladegas I know that you and I have raced?
I think you're going to see the middle groove be the fast way around tonight. I think that's my first inclination here, watching the guys in practice. But as always, anytime you come to Talladega, Todd, it's 2, 3, sometimes 4 wide racing. So a lot to keep an eye on here. 66 laps around the main event distance tonight. And Todd Stanton, these drivers are on the grid. So let's go straight into the starting lineup.
And now your starting lineup here live from the Talladega Super Speedway. Starting on the pole, driving the number 33. That's the high side hustler. That's Martin Karch and his dancing partner out to the outside. Their current points leader here in the DRTV Premiere Cup Series. That's Derek Justice.
Rolling off for number 2 tonight. Great qualifying run for the pilot of the 210. That's from Insomniac Motorsports. That's Ed Stancliffe. And to his outside in the 112, that Coca-Cola Chevrolet. That's Chris Hartofelax.
Next row back, starting in that 5th starting position, that's the 04, that's Jeremy Jeffries, and inside of him, driving that number 60, that's the Zach Attack, that's Zach Freemile aboard the number 60.
The 110 roll off next in the 7th position as the command to fire engines is given. Also the Insomniac Motorsports machine, the 110, that is Dennis Chambers, and to his outside in the number 68, that's Mauricio Bedoya.
Another one of them Insomniac Motorsports sponsored machines driving the number 57. That is Jesse Klein. And outside him in that 10th starting position, that's the 59. That's Ryan Johnson.
The 99 will roll off tonight from position number 11. The 99 being piloted by Don Dangler. And to his outside in the number 6, that's Joey the Jet, Joe Allen.
Starting 13th on the field, that's the driver of the number 28 machine, that's Jerry Walters. And outside of him, that's the driver of the number 86, that's Jim Black.
The dog, John Palmer, is going to roll off tonight in the 108 from position number 15 into his outside in the number 89, that's Todd Truin.
Starting in 17th, driving the 103, that's Carson Crittens. And outside him, that's the number 71, that's Bruce Heil.
Daytona winner here from a few months ago will roll off tonight from a 19th position aboard the number 21. That's, of course, Kelly Horner. And to his outside in the number 72, also a feature winner this season, that's Isaac Johnson.
Starting 21st on the field, that's the driver of the number 19, that's Jeffrey Goodpaster. And outside him, driving the number 512, that's Danny Johnston.
23rd starter tonight will be the pilot of the 028, that is Monty Keller. And to his outside in the number 36, we welcome back Alan Coleman.
Starting 25th on the field, that's the Punisher. He is no stranger to victory lane at these super speedways. Driving the number 88, that's Craig Meyer. And outside of him, that is the 109 of Ken Hansen.
Next on the field tonight will be the number 48, that Lowe's Chevrolet. That's Alex Davis. And to his outside in the 55, the Sidewinder, Scott Schroyer.
Next row back, starting in that number 22 machine, that is Gary Piccolo. And outside of him, that's the number 15 of Matt Watkins.
That's your 30-car starting field tonight. A great field from Talladega Superspeedway. Race number 10 for the DRTV Premiere Cup Series here in 2016. Broadcast number 4 of the 15 we'll have here through the balance of the season. A lot of great stuff to get to tonight. Update the point standings, update the half the Premiere Scramble, though that current locked-in contention there. We'll get into that here a little later on. But Todd Stanton, the DRTV Pace fan, found his way to pit road. We're about to put this thing under the green flag for the first time.
The green flag is in the air. Karch and Justice going to lead them down. Lap and a half to get up to full song. I'm going to ask you one question. Who's it going to be here tonight for the Talladega Superspeedway?
Who's it going to be indeed as they march through turns number 1 and 2 for the first time? Onto the banking and off the low side, the race leader, the 31, Derek Justice, trying to sneak out to the race leader. That'd be Martin Cartrell, the pole sitter. He's going to sneak out in that low lane. Derek drop kick to the outside. The race down for that second spot. Todd Ed Stancliffe in the 210. Chris Hartafielax in the 112. They're down low, side by side toward turn 3.
Yeah, Ed Stancliffe. Fast Eddie Lee in that number 21 machine. Now going to pull some muscle down on the bottom side, right alongside of Martin Karch. Karch looks like he put a parachute out the back side of his car, as now Ed Stancliffe, Fast Eddie Lee, takes over the lead right there in front of Martin Karch, and he looks like he's working the draft coming down through the tri-oval, Phil.
Yeah, he certainly is. And a new look there. You look on the inside, that's the 4 car. That's Jeremy Jeffries there. That white and blue machine, that's a different paint job than we're used to seeing Jeremy. You usually see him out in that black Monster Energy machine, but he's in that white Chevrolet tonight. He's got that digging on the low side, Todd. He's going to pull alongside for the race lead off of 2.
Yeah, Jeffries alongside of the number 21 of Ed Stancliffe. Here comes Dennis Chambers into the mix. If he can get paired up with that number 21, these are both Insomniac Motorsports sponsored machines. Looks like the high side, the middle groove around the Talladega Superspeedway, like you hinted on earlier, Phil, is taking advantage here. Coming down into the corner, you get one whale of a run on the top side. And right now, Ed Stancliffe, Martin Karch, and Derek Justice working real well together in lockstep. You also got Chris Hartafelix on the top side. You got a pair of Insomniac Motorsports sponsored machines down on the bottom side trying to help the number 04 machine of Jeremy Jeffries.
Yeah, Jeremy not making any ground up on that low side. That top side, Todd, is predicted here a little while ago. I think you're going to see that be the fast groove around, especially here in the early laps, and we're seeing that as you say, Fast Eddie Lee out there on the number 210, your current race leader. The pole sitter, Martin Karch, right there in his back bumper. The race is side by side for that 3rd spot between that Baskin-Robbins Ford of Derek Justice. Jeremy Jeffries down low, top side prevailing, Todd, as we've seen here so often on the back straightaway.
Yeah, it looks like Zach Freeman using that top side to his advantage, trying to get around the 04 Jeremy Jeffries. You're going to see the bottom side start to pull up because that is the shortest way around the Talladega Superspeedway. Jeffries now was next to the number 60 of Freeman. Now he's up next to the 112 machine of Hartafelix. They're side by side, but look at the run. They get off that corner down through the tri-oval. That middle groove is really tooling right along as the 112 of Chris Hartafelix jumps out of line down to the bottom side along with the 93 of Martin Karch. Karch now trying to get the lead from the number 21 of Ed Stancliffe.
Yeah, Martin pulled down to the low side. He's seen Chris turn that Coca-Cola Chevrolet to the low side. Now peak to 33, back to the race lead. He's going to bring the 112 alongside. They're going to be side by side for that 2nd spot. Martin tries to take that high lane away. They're almost 3 wide, Todd, down the backstretch.
Yeah, almost 3 wide down the back straightaway. We're still double file here down the back straightaway. Almost looks like a high-speed pace lap as we're at the Talladega Super Speedway here going into corner number 3. Karch has the advantage on the bottom side this time. Top side looks like it stalled just a little bit, but you're going to see them get that run. We've been talking about that run, and we're going to see that run all evening long. You're going to see them come storming out of the corner because they can stay in the throttle. It seems like they pick up a little bit more speed on that top side there, Phil.
Yeah, they certainly do. And you're seeing that top side, peeking out. Ed Stancliffe in the 210. Derek Justice there, and also Zach Freeman, number 60, Todd. He's having a great run out of the gate. He is that third car up in that third lane. Martin Karch stuck on that sucker hole, as we'd say. 3 wide racing for about third on back off of turn 2.
Yeah, Karch definitely stuck in the sucker hole. Looks like the 110 of Dennis Chambers is going to be the benefactor. He goes from low to middle to extreme high up in front of the 210 machine of Ed Stancliffe, trying to help one of his Insomniac Motorsports partners here, his teammates, and now Dennis Chambers on the top side of the speedway with that number 210 machine. They're trying to make a charge right now. Meanwhile, back up front, the 112 of Chris Hart of Felix, your current race leader with the number 04 of Jeremy Jeffries. Now as they flash by, it looks like the number 99 of Don Dangler. Dangler off the pace here early at the Talladega Super Speedway. That could make for a long night, Phil.
Oh, it certainly can, but it's Talladega, Todd. Everybody's stuck. The whole pack separated by just over 2 seconds from first all the way back to 29th. And as you and I both well know, we've turned many laps here just this week at Talladega alone. You can get tore up on one of these big packs awfully quickly. One mistake and your night can really turn here in a hurry, especially with that realistic damage here as we run in the Premiere Cup Series. Any kind of damage here at Talladega can certainly mess your night up just in the beginning. But look at these guys, Todd. 3 wide all over the speedway. I mean, it's 6, 7 rows deep, and they're just going to be 3 wide formation off of that race lead off of turn 4.
Yeah, that extreme top side there had to fall back just a little bit, but they're going to get a run off the corner here down through the triangle. Joey the Jet, Joe Allen in that number 6 machine has found himself all the way up into that 5th spot now. It might even be 3rd by the time they get to the line, 4th at the line for Joey the Jet. Joe Allen in that number 6 machine. He's right behind the number 33 machine of Martin Karch, the 112 machine of Chris Hart of Felix down onto the bottom side. He is fighting side by side with the number 6 of Joe Allen.
Yeah, side by side, you said, with that Joe Allen machine. That's in 3 wide formation. Those guys are just fighting tooth and nail. That's about for the 4th spot. Now a race for the race lead as they hit turn number 3, Todd. Jeremy Jeffries to the low side. Martin Karch trying to shove up that middle. He's got help from Joe Allen there as well. And also Jim Black in the 86. He's got 3rd car in that middle lane. They are rolling off of turn 4.
Definitely rolling off of turn number 4 here down through the triangle. Looks like Karch going to take over the lead with Joe Allen. Joey the Jet in that 2nd spot. Number 86 machine of Jim Black, he's running 3rd. Dennis Chambers not going away there on the top side. He's got help from the 210 early race leader, Fast Eddie Lee. Ed Stancliffe in that 210 machine. He's also got help from the 31 machine of Derek Justice. Also, look at the number 21 machine, Kelly Horner. He's no stranger to the victory lane at the super speedways. He won the opener at the Daytona International Speedway on gas, if I may do believe. And Kelly Horner now making his way up through the field, Phil.
Yeah, they're making that middle lane work for him. But now, Todd, that extreme high lane, they're getting a terrific run in there for turn number 3. That's the Insomniac Motorsports Group. Dennis Chambers, Eddie Lee there as well. Just doing all they can, shoving. Derek Justice also pushing in the high lane. Also a 3rd Insomniac car, Todd, in that pack. That's Jesse Klein there in the number 57. He's stuck to that low side. I don't think it's going to be too much laps longer until you see all 3 of those Insomniac drivers all pair together. As we've seen them here at Talladega before. They make waves when the 3 of them get together here around this 2.66 mile super speedway.
They definitely do, and they got help from Derek Justice up top there, Phil. Justice no stranger to victory lane here in the DRTV Premiere Cup Series this year and last year for that fact. Right now, your current points leader here going into the Talladega Super Speedway, and this could be a game changer. He has 24 points over, I believe, 2nd place running Robert Balcom. Balcom did not make the call here this evening at the Ken Hansen, excuse me, that's 2nd. Robert Balcom was in the top, was 2nd the last time we broadcasted, and now he fell down through the field here. But Ken Hansen running in that 2nd spot, 24 markers behind the 31 machine. And right now, Ken Hansen, as we're looking through the field, he's 25th. Justice right now 7th or 8th on the field now.
Yeah, and just to update there as we're working now, we're going to hit lap number 10 at the line, so probably halfway through here if we stay under the green flag through a run of gas and tires here. We're talking 18 to 20 laps as usual here at Talladega will be the pit window for these guys tonight. But taking a peek at those point standings, as here's what the pictures tell the story here. These guys 2 and 3 wide all over Talladega. As you said, Todd, Derek Justice tonight, a 3-time winner this season. Now, he missed a race a few weeks ago, I believe, at Martinsville, but he's run 8 races. He's got 3 wins, the current point leader by 25 over Ken Hansen, who's having a great season so far. Ken with 6 top 10 finishes to his credit. He's 1 point better than Alex Davis, who sits 26 markers back third. The Punisher, Craig Meyer, we've seen him win Atlanta earlier this season, currently in that 4th spot. And Robert Baucom, Todd, he going to round out your top 5, currently in the point standings, 44 markers behind Derek Justice, also a race winner this season. So his spot to the path to Premier Scramble, as long as he can maintain his spot into the top 20 in points, he'll lock his way in here later on down the road at Charlotte. But we got a lot of racing between now and then here as we keep an eye on these point standings in the top 5. But these guys, Todd, 2 and 3 wide racing all over the speedway, and our current race leader is Jeremy Jeffries in the 04. They are 3 wide for second down the back straightaway.
Yeah, 3 wide for that second position between the 112 of Chris Harda-Felix and the 33 machine of Martin Karch. The 110 of Dennis Chambers looks like the high side starting to give a little bit away to the middle groove there, but they've been back and forth here all race long so far, Phil, and the bottom side this time prevailing over all these other grooves, and it doesn't look like they're together as much on the bottom as they recently were, but now the 04 of Jeffries slips up in front of the 33 of Karch. Here comes the 112 of Chris Harda-Felix with help from the 103 of Carson Kranz.
Yeah, Carson right there in the 103. As you said, those guys just trying to make waves there in that top lane down all over the speedway here. All chasing Jeremy Jefferson in the 4 car. He keeps running that low line. He'll drift up to that middle line. He'll grab Martin Karch there in the middle, Todd. But there are 3 distinct grooves on the racetrack. That middle lane seems to be winning the battle right now. But here comes that top lane with Dennis Chambers and Eddie Lee. They're going to be making that sprint up for the 2nd spot in the turn 3.
Yeah, they don't have to check up as much as that bottom line does, Phil. You have to roll out of the throttle just a little bit on the bottom side, causing a checkup. It looks like the middle groove is having that same kind of issue there going down the back straightaway. Looks like they're trying to bump, but that top side just seems to be motoring right along. They're not right there tucked up close to each other, and maybe that's why they're not checking up as much, but they are motoring on the top side now, pulling up to that 2nd spot there, and that's the 33 of Martin Karch, the 110 of Dennis Chambers trying to fight side by side with them. Now he's going to drift back into the clutches of the 6 of Joe Allen and the 112 of Harda-Felix. 3 wide racing here, Phil, around Talladega Superspeedway. Do you expect anything less?
No, I don't expect anything less at all, and I think we're going to see a lot of that 3 wide formation throughout the evening here on the DRL Network, the Talladega Superspeedway, the DRTV Premiere Cup Series. They are in turns number 3. Rich Patton, we're seeing 3 distinct lines around the speedway. We're seeing that middle lane dominating. We're seeing the low line. They certainly ain't going away. And that top side, they are certainly rolling up there. Now, if you're out there in the 00 on the speedway, Rich, as you've done here at Talladega so many times, in this juncture of the race, what line would you rather be in, and where in that line would you rather be? Would you rather be in the front of it, the middle, the back of it? Where would you put the 00 right now if you were out there?
I think this early in the game, I'd probably want to be sitting in the back. I wouldn't want to be up in the front or, because in the middle of the pack, anyways, because you're probably going to end up getting caught in the big one when it happens. At least being in the back, you'll be able to see what's going on and try to avoid it, unless, of course, you're up front. I prefer the top line as long as you got the car counts, but that middle line right now seems to be the place to be. It's just really white-knuckle racing when you're in the middle and you got cars on both sides of you, and you're really relying on them drivers to keep it straight. So I think middle's too hectic. I like the top side.
You know, Rich, I think I agree with you there. And Todd, we've made hundreds of thousands of laps here at Talladega. Do you echo the same sentiment Rich says, or knowing you'll probably want to charge toward the front, wouldn't you there, partner?
My initial thought would be to stay in the back like I normally used to do here at the Talladega Superspeedway, but it doesn't matter if that big one's going to happen. You got to have some luck on your side at the Talladega Superspeedway. High-speed chess match, you just got to have luck. And lately, Phil, I've been charging to the front, utilizing that top side of the speedway. The middle groove is a little hectic for me from time to time. You'll see me use it every once in a while, like a lot of these guys are using it right now. Here you got the Martin Karch and Joe Allen sitting there in the middle of the 86 of Jim Black. But it's when you're stuck in that middle, Phil, you're going side to side, trying to stay off the guy on the bottom. You're trying to stay off the guy on the top side. So it's really difficult, and it makes it for an aggravating, stressful race there in the middle.
Well, I'm going to put that same question out to the YouTube chat box as we're currently working lap number 15. So we're going to probably be 3 or 4 laps away from pit road being open here as far as these cycle. So I see many of you guys out there in the chat box chatting away. Bob Tompkins is always out there. See Don Dangler, who looks like he's retired from the event out there. Dakota's out there as well. So I see a couple of guys in there interacting. What do you guys in the chat box think? You want to be top lane? You want to be in the middle? Do you want to be at the bottom? You want to be at the front of this pack or the back or maybe even the middle? So YouTube chat box, the challenge is out to you, Todd Stanton. These guys at the front of the field have calmed down to a 2-wide formation, but it is Martin Karch with the push from Joe Allen, your current race leader, but they're side by side right now. Chris Harder-Felix in the low lane as they hit turn 3.
Yeah, you see Chris Harder-Felix pull up right side of the 33 of Martin Karch. He's going to be able to, looks like he's coming down pit road. We have pit road people coming down for pit stops, Phil. You got Harder-Felix, you got the 103 of Crins, the 31 of Justice, the 04 of Jeremy Jeffries, Isaac Johnson down on pit road. I'm going to be following here Chris Harder-Felix down into his pit stop, Corpus Christi, Texas, for Chris Harder-Felix. That's his hometown. As Chris Harder-Felix coming down to get to the aid of his pit crew, my call would be left side tires only. With some fuel here, I would not take 4 tires this early in the go, and you're going to lose a lot of time. It looks like left side tires going on the 112 of Chris Harder-Felix. We're going to see what happens here with the 112. They're not going to put right side tires on. Looks like they're putting fuel still in. 112 of Chris Harder-Felix is down and away.
On this end of pit road, Todd, it was 2 left side tires for Carson Krenz. Gas and goes for Jerry Walters on the 28, the 59 of Ryan Johnson. Also a gas and go as well as we've seen that second group, Todd. Those guys up near the race lead. Now they're all sprinting toward pit road.
Yeah, second group down here on pit road. Looks like Martin Karch, Joe Allen, the 21 of Kelly Horner, Ed Stancliffe, Fast Eddie Lee down here on pit road. I'm following the number 6 to Joey the Jet, Joe Allen. Beautifully prepared team crush sponsor machine in that number 6 machine there as he comes to the aid of his pit crew. And it looks like left side tires going on that number 6 machine. I believe there was something going on here at the end of pit road, but the 6 of Joey the Jet, Joe Allen, left side tires only and fuel, and he's down and away.
I'm down on the center pit road. It's 2 right side tires for the 21 of Eddie Lee, Todd of the 210 rather. 2 right sides, the Insomniac machine. He's down and away in the far end of pit road.
Karch also in that number 33, the high side hustler, 2 left side tires on board that number 33 machine. He's down and away. He's going to join the number 6 of Joe Allen here, and these guys going to draft together here, Phil.
Yeah, so we'll see how this all plays out. I believe that's going to put everybody, Todd, if my calculations are correct, I think everybody at this point has made its way to pit road. I'm going to try to go back and verify that, but I don't see another wave coming by this time by, so maybe, Todd Stanton, have we completed our first round of green flag pit stops here tonight?
It looks like we have indeed completed our first wave of green flag pit stops here successfully here at the Talladega Super Speedway. And right now it looks like Joey the Jet, Joe Allen, all by himself. That's not where you want to be. You want to have a drafting partner. And that number 6 machine, same way with the 33 of Martin Karch. But it looks like Martin Karch coming down pit road. I believe he was too fast entering pit road or even on the exit for that number 33 machine. Tough break for the high side hustler.
Yeah, sure is. He's going to fall his way out of the race lead there. He's our pole sitter, was up to the front of that field, and as we said here so many times, Todd Stanton, it's tough work getting on and off pit road here at Talladega at a high rate of speed and, and trying to stay in touch with the draft there. You have so much pressure on you. You got to hit your marks. You got to keep that thing under control. And, you got to get down to that 55 miles per hour speed limit. Unfortunately for Martin, it looks like a couple more, Todd. Those guys maybe not the case, and they'll have to come in and serve that black flag.
Yeah, it's a tough break for some of those guys. Maybe a yellow will follow their way. Maybe not. It's going to be a long night for them. I'm going to throw it down to Mr. TV Time, Rich Batten, who I believe found an incident, entering pit road.
Yeah, we caught it on the live camera. It's that Hertz rental car. That's going to be Ken Hansen in the 109. Looks like he's going to come right across the front end of Jim Black. That's him in the Hertz rental car right there behind the Tide machine of Craig. We're going to let this run out a little bit in slow motion. As you can see coming down pit, we'll go ahead and run it at full speed. He comes right across the nose of Jim Black. That's going to send him backwards into his pits. Jim Black kind of let up. He didn't know what to do. It was all of a sudden just happened right in front of him. But that's going to put Hansen facing the wrong way right up against pit wall. That's going to hurt Hansen. Tough stuff in the pits. A lot of action going on down there. They got to keep your eye on everybody. Back up to you guys.
Yeah, it's one of those things, Rich. We talk about when you come to Talladega, these guys getting on and off pit road there, getting off from 190 plus miles per hour down to 55 miles an hour, Todd Stanton. It's certainly a hairy situation there, and unfortunately for guys like Ken, for Jim Black, hiccups there, and it's going to put those guys behind the 8 ball. Now going to be currently scored 27th position on back.
Yeah, current race leader now, the 04, Jeremy Jeffries. There's two different packs there, Phil, formed right now as we speak. You got Jeremy Jeffries, Carson Krintz, Isaac Johnson, Derek Justice, Joe Allen. That is your one pack. And then the second pack, who is only 1.4 back, and they're going to be catching them real quick because these guys up in this front pack are slicing and dicing their way, trying to figure out who's going to lead this race, and that's being led by Fast Eddie Lee, Ed Stancliffe, along with the 110 of Dennis Chambers, the 48 machine of Alex Davis, and the 89 of Todd Truan, the 71 of Bruce Heil. Bedoya in that number 68 machine also in that pack. So this is a huge second pack, and I believe they've caught the first pack, Phil, and these guys are going to have one monstrous run on this first pack.
Yeah, and I think that's going to make that first pack, as you say, go from about 5 or 6 cars. I think that's going to balloon now all the way to about 17 drivers, as those guys, I believe, have all now caught touch with the lead pack. We're working now lap number 22. We're 1/3 the way home here from Talladega Superspeedway. So let's see if we can't get a full field rundown here, sponsored by the DRL Network. Find us at drlnetwork.com. Your current race leader, the 103 of Carson Krenz, Isaac Johnson, Derek Justice, Joe Allen, and Jeremy Jeffries. Your current top 5, 6 through 10, Ed Stancliffe, Dennis Chambers, Alex Davis, Todd Truan, Bruce Heil. That's your current top 10. Mauricio Bedoya, Matt Watkins, Jerry Walters, Ryan Johnson, Zach Freemow, he's your current 15th place driver. Gary Piccolo, 16th. Craig Meyer, 17th. Alan Coleman is 18th. Scott Schroyer, 19th. Monty Keller, 21st. Jeffrey Goodpaster, 21st. John the Dog Palmer, 22nd. Danny Johnston is 23rd. Jim Black, 24th. Chris Hartefielax is currently 25th. Martin Karch finds his way now mired back in a 26th position. Ken Hansen is 27th. Kelly Horner, 28th. Jesse Klein is 29th. He's currently scored 4 laps down. And one driver out of the event this evening, the 99 of Don Dangler. Some mechanical issues there, Todd, putting him behind the wall. That is your 30-car field, full field rundown, sponsored by the DRL Network. The field in turn number 3, Todd Stanton. We've seen that lead pack all formed up to about 17 cars strong. And right away now back 3 wide for the race lead off of turn 4.
Yeah, 3 wide for the race lead. Ed Stancliffe, while Phil was giving you that rundown, sponsored by the DRL Network, Ed Stancliffe took over the lead there with that second pack. Now everybody's fanning out. Now Alex Davis in that number 48 machine is now in the lead. The number 89 machine of Todd Truan now working his way up through. He's moved up to that second spot. Todd Truan on a rail in that number 89 machine. What a fantastic job for Todd Truan in the 89. The 71 of Bruce Heil is running third. Fourth is right now the 210 of Ed Stancliffe, the 103 of Carson Krenz. They are side by side here for that 4th spot. These guys all over the racetrack, 3 wide here, coming into corner number 3.
And look at the race for that race lead, the 89 of Todd Truan. He's trying to make that run for the race lead, Todd, and he's going to make that work. The 89, your new race leader off of turn 4.
Yeah, Todd Truan finally leading a lap here in the DRTV Premiere Cup Series. Great job by Todd Truan, one of the admins here, long-standing admins. Started TDR over here, so Todd Truan leading a lap here on DRTV, Phil, and that's a great stance for Todd Truan coming back here. He's took many months off of racing. You barely ever see him out on the track, and he's leading the race here in the DRTV Premiere Cup Series.
Yeah, and it's so great to see, Ty. You know, as everybody knows that we operate out of TDR Racing House. We do most of our racing over here, and of course, TDR partners up with DRL to put this series on week after week. And you know, there's a big hats off to all the gang over here at TDR. Do such a bang-up job for us. And you know, of course, Todd Truan, he's the guy in charge here. He's the owner of TDR Racing, and none of this definitely possible without him and all the support he gives to us up here in the booth every week when we get up here. So great to see Todd out there on the racetrack, and as I said, having a great run of the 89 Todd. We certainly don't see him enough, but now looks like that outside lane is starting to prevail. Looks like guys like the 48 of Alex Davis has now pried his way to the race lead, Todd, as they hit turn 1.
Yeah, Alex Davis back into the race lead. He's led a lap here early on in the going. Now the 6 of Joey the Jet, Joe Allen, forming a middle groove with the help from the 04 of Jeremy Jeffries. They're starting to make some headway. Middle groove. Now we're back to 3 wide racing here for that second spot between Stancliffe, Joe Allen, and the 89 of Todd Truan. They're side by side as Truan in the bottom groove. They're slowing down just a little bit. And that's going to give headway here to that middle groove. The number 6 of Joe Allen now still battling side by side for second. But here comes that bottom groove not going away, Phil.
Certainly not going away at all as they form back 3 wide, about 5 or 6 rows deep. Up for the race lead, Todd, is they're going to work this time, hit 27 laps of 66 up on the board. I'm just astounded, Todd, here. 26-plus laps or better around the green flag pit stops. And these guys all still 3 wide, 5 rows deep for the race lead, dude. I'm just absolutely flabbergasted. I'm in, like, absolute disbelief. This is fantastic racing here at the Talladega Superspeedway.
Yeah, definitely a fantastic showing. Now it looks like Todd Truman back to the lead on the bottom side. He's going to get around the number 6 of Joe Allen. Now here comes Joe Allen back and the 48 of Alex Davis. They are side by side by side, 5 rows deep. They are 3 wide, Phil, still racing for this lead. Nobody's given an inch.
No, nobody giving an inch whatsoever, and why would you, Todd? This is just fantastic racing. You know, when you hear us talk about coming to a Talladega, you know, of course it makes for a great picture. It makes for a great race here on the DRL network week after week, every time we come to Talladega. But it can be so frustrating as a driver. You get out there, you make laps, you're stuck in a pack all night long. But this is absolutely intense, Todd. 17 drivers from Todd Truman, your race leader last time by, all the way back to 17th place, Zach Freemow. It's 6/10 of a second. You don't have time to blink in a pack like that. One mistake can end the night of everybody in that group, and just a hats off of these guys. They're just it's inches from each other, pushing and shoving down these straightaways and through these turns. And now we got a drag race down the backstretch, Todd. Truman with the race leading to turn 3, but now we're going to be 3 wide behind him. He may just get split here as the time they hit turn 3.
Yeah, Truman was on the bottom side. He left the bottom side to help the number 6 of Joey the Jet, Joe Allen. Now here comes the 71 of Bruce Heil. He's working over the bottom side. That top side not going away either. Here comes the 48 of Alex Davis with help from Stancliffe and the number 110 of Dennis Chambers. Who's going to lead this lap? This is going to be a white-knuckled lap here, Phil. It looks like it's going to be Todd Truman leading another lap here at the Talladega Superspeedway. The 48 of Alex Davis now takes over the lead, coming into 2. A little bit of jitter here for these top guys. It looks like the middle group got a little bit loose there. Now the 71 of Bruce Heil going to motor down to the bottom side and going to be able to take over the lead. He slides up in front of the 89.
Yeah, it looks like old Jack in the 89. He got a little bit loose in that middle lane. That stacked him up just a little bit. Almost took him into the door of the 48 of Alex Davis. That broke up that 3 wide tandem for the race lead. Now they're going to be 2 wide. Davis up in the high lane of the 48, Bruce Heil the 71, and a great run, Todd, for that 15 of Matt Watkins. He's that second car on the low side. They're going to be side by side now for the race lead of the turn 3.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Watkins up there. That shows you how much of a benefactor not qualifying towards the front really doesn't. Watkins, I believe, qualified towards the rear. I may be wrong here. I'm looking through the stats. The number 15 machine of Matt Watkins. We're looking down through here, and I'm still looking, Phil. He started, it looks like he started 29th on the field in that 15 machine, and he's already up to 4th, so that shows you drafting and what happens here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Position doesn't really matter. Pit road, you may want the first through 5 pit stalls because it's a little bit easier to get clean in and clean out there, but Phil, drafting, you could come from 30th to 1st in a matter of 2 laps.
Yeah, and I think I would have taken the Matt Watkins approach tonight. I don't mind when you come to a place like a Talladega. You know, I'm usually one who wants to qualify toward the back and get one of those first pit stalls when you get into pit road. I like that clean entry there and that just free fire getting out of pit road and try to gain all the spots you can. So I know you guys don't really like those top 5 the top 5 positions there in pit road. I'd rather prefer the back there, Todd, as we're seeing these guys now getting 2 wide for about 3rd place on back. The 48 of Alex Davis has got his way to the race lead. Ed Stancliffe in the 210. Dennis Chambers in the 110. Those Insomniac Motorsports guys have teamed up in the top side. Todd Truman there in the 89. He's also in that high lane. They are 2 wide, Todd, for 4th place on back down the back straightaway.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like that bottom group has as much help. The 71 of Bruce Heil working on the bottom side with Matt Watkins. Watkins right now and Heil dropping towards the back. It looks like the 89 of Todd Truman going low there, maybe middle groove for that number 89 machine. Nope, Joe Allen goes with them too. They are forming the bottom side to help out these bottom guys that have been on the bottom. It looks like I'm trying to figure out who else went down. It looks like the 72 of Isaac Johnson. They're trying to mount a charge against these 2 Insomniac Motorsports sponsored machines and the 48 of Alex Davis.
Yeah, and that inside lane, Todd, they are digging off of turn number 2. The 89 of Todd Truman may find his way back to the race lead. Side by side with the 48, we saw 3 wide, another 2 wide, all the way back from 1st to the 17th position there. 2 wide, maybe now 3 wide, Todd, as they head toward turn 3.
Yeah, they're still hanging in there 2 wide. Some of them trying 3 wide there. They backed out of it there momentarily. It looks like these guys getting close on pit stops here once again, Phil. It's got to be pit stops here very, very soon. They got to be coming up on these green flag pit stops for a second time here at the Talladega Super Speedway. The number 48 of Alex Davis leading right now. The 210 of Ed Stancliffe, Fast Eddie Lee running in that second spot. Todd Truan running third. The 110 of Dennis Chambers, he's running fourth. Phil, there was a developing story on pit road.
Yeah, just a whole bunch of stuff happening here, Todd. Matt Watkins got on pit road hot. He ended up in the grass. The 28 of Jerry Walters, he was out in the grass as well. We've seen him pointing in the wrong direction and to roll back in. Not sure exactly what happened there. I don't know if Rich is going to have time and maybe look at the replay here once this green flag cycle gets on through, but certainly something going amiss for those two drivers on this end of pit road. Rich, I believe you have a better look here. What happened to Jerry Walters? So I'll throw it down to you.
Yeah, we'll keep our eyes on Jerry Walters. He's going to be in that purple car right there at the right of your screen or center of your screen. We'll go ahead and play this out at full speed. All 3 cars braking hard. Looks like the nose is diving down hard. He's trying to avoid everything, and all of a sudden he gets tagged as he's slowing down, coming to the inside. Just ran out of real estate. Looked like 2 cars both going for the same spot. Unfortunately, Walters ended up in the grass. That's going to hurt him. We'll go back up here to Matt Watkins and let this play out and see what happened to him as well. Looks like he overshot his pit stall. He's going to have to back up. He almost overshot it by a whole pit and a half. He finally gets it in there. As you can see there, Jerry Walters is finally getting by. He got his car pointed in the right direction as well. So a lot of havoc with only 3 cars going down pit road. Going to be interesting to see what happens when the rest of this pack starts coming in.
Yeah, and I think you're about to see a lot of that pack start heading in right now, Rich, as they come off of turn number 4, seeing the 6 of Joey the Jet. He's hard on the brakes, and looks like also the 103 of Carson Krenz amongst a couple of guys, Todd, that have found their way to pit road.
Yeah, a couple of guys down here on pit road. I'm following right now your current points leader, the 31 of Derek Justice. Justice coming down to the 8 of his pit crew and get full service here in that Baskin-Robbins sponsored machine. Derek Justice qualified second here this evening. Long trip down pit road. You have to stay 55 miles an hour. Don't slide through his pit stall here, and he nails his pit stop. He didn't slide through. Left side tires going on the number 31 machine of Derek Justice, your current points leader, by 24 markers over the 109 of Ken Hansen. He's down and away with that number 31, Phil.
I was on this end of pit road watching the 22 of Gary Piccolo. Looked like it was a gas and go for the 22. Also looked like it might have been a gas and go for the 88 of Craig Meyer, Todd. Those red line guys, they're all down and away.
Yeah, they're all down in the way here. Another guy through the grass. I'm not sure who was through the grass that time. Did not catch it. The 89 of Todd Truan did smack the wall. Looks like the 60 of Zach Freemile through the grass there. That's a tough break for Zach Freemile. The Zach attack there now getting towed back to his pit stall. But I was watching the number 89 of Todd Truan. Hopefully he didn't get any damage there as he smacked the wall. He's in it. He slid through his pit stall. Looks like the 89 machine of Todd Truan. He's trying to back up to the 8 of his pit crew. Costly mistake for the 89 machine.
Yeah, also a costly mistake here for the 110 of Dennis Chambers. Not sure if there was contact between him and teammate Jesse Klein, but the 110 certainly had some hiccups getting on the pit road. Going to be 4 tires and go for that 110, Todd. They'll be down the way on this end of pit road.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to end our pit stops here, Phil. I think we've recycled through, barring anybody else that got a black flag for speeding. Todd Truan now joining the tail end of the field here in that number 89 machine. Tough break for Todd Truan. Sliding through his pit stall, smacking the wall. Looks like the 55 of Scott Schroyer coming back down pit road. Must be one of those costly speeding penalties once again. But as the field resets, restacks, and repacks here, the 48 of Alex Davis is your current race leader. He's all by his lonesome right now, and that's not where you want to be. He has a hungry pack behind him, being led by the number 6 of Joey the Jet, Joe Allen. Isaac Johnson is second or third. 4th is the number 68 of Bedoya. 5th is the 31 of Derek Justice. And look at the run that they get on Alex Davis. They go 2 by 2 here around Alex Davis. Davis now dropping to the back, and Joey the Jet, Joe Allen, assumes the lead.
Yeah, that looks like going to be an 8-car breakaway when this thing all settles out at the front of the field. But Todd, an awesome pit stop there with a 48. You must be feeling great when you come off a pit road and see you have that big of a lead. But how quick does that panic set in when you see that hungry pack behind you? You have a great, you're out there with a great pit stop. You got a 2 or 3 second lead, but what is it like out there in the 48? You have that awesome pit stop. I'm sure you're excited, but man, it's going to be a helpless feeling seeing that pack come behind you.
Yeah, helpless feeling. Looks like the 72 of Isaac Johnson gets a little bit loose there down at the bottom. I'm not sure. It looks like he is still going there in the 72 machine. But getting back to your question there, Phil, with Alex Davis, I just can't believe when you go through the corner there and you got, I don't know, he probably had a second lead on that second pack, but he had no help out there. Yeah, great pit stop, but it's just a helpless feeling there when they're coming up on you. They're going to go around you and like you're standing still, like you threw a kitchen sink out there with a dragging anchor or whatever you threw out there, out that window, and you're just going to go to the back, and then he's going to have to assume to try to get around these guys.
Yeah, and it's going to be a long road to hoe from here, but Alex dropping the 48 now back to that 7th position. It's an 8-car breakaway at the front of the field here now, working lap number 38. But just to recap, Todd, we were talking here a little while ago about the point standings and, you know, all the happenings here, the Premiere Cup Series here in 2016. Just going down up through the series so far, seeing your race winners here so far this season. Of course, we've seen Derek Justice leads the series with 3 wins. We opened up here in February at Daytona. The DRTV 300 was won by Kelly Horner. A week later, we went to the Atlanta Motor Speedway where Craig Meyer in the 88 picked up the race win. The following week, we went to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. That's where Derek Justice got his first win of the season, and he was able to back it up a week later with a back-to-back win there at the Phoenix International Raceway. Then we rolled to the Auto Club Speedway on March the 19th, and Isaac Johnson found his way to victory lane for his first victory of 2016. Following week, the Martinsville Speedway, the Road Rage 200, as we coined it, was won by Robert Baucom, the ace of the short tracks. He put the 18 in the victory lane. The following week, we went to the Texas Motor Speedway, where Matt Watkins put the 15 in the victory lane. That was a big win here for Matt Watkins, trying to punch his ticket here early on to the scramble here in the year of 2016. The series then rolled to the Bristol Motor Speedway, where Mauricio Bedoya in the number 68, he found victory lane for the first time this season. He's trying to make his march through the point standings, currently in the outside looking in, outside the top 20, but we still have a lot of racing here left to go. And of course, 1 week ago, the Richmond International Raceway, that's where Derek Justice took down the win, his 3rd win of 2016, Todd, currently sitting atop the point standings by 25, as we said. And you look on the speedway here at Talladega tonight, a race that can certainly be a game changer. Derek doing everything the right way, currently in that 2nd spot. The field, Todd, that 8-car breakaway there, working their way off of turn 4.
Yeah, still an 8-car breakaway. It looks like the number 60 machine of Zach Freeman. He's going to go 1 lap down to the rears. Like we said, he was out there in the grass. Costly mistake for the number 60 of Zach Freeman. Now he's able to join the tail end of this pack here, the lead pack. There's no other packs here throughout the field. There's 2 cars here. Once in a while here, you see 2 cars together, 3 cars together, but there's no big pack here, Phil, and that's going to play into the hands of these 8 cars that are up front.
Yeah, and so far, Todd, those 8 cars seem to be just content to be single file. That being Joe Allen, the 6th, your current race leader. Derek Justice, Gary Piccolo, Craig Meyer, Carson Krenz, that is your current top 5. Isaac Johnson, 6th. Mauricio Bedoya, 7th. Alex Davis, 8th. Ed Stancliffe is 9th. Ryan Johnson having a great run, currently in the 10th spot. Matt Watkins is 11th. Dennis Chambers, 12th. Todd Schuin, 13th. John Palmer is 14th. Danny Johnson having a great run. He's currently in that 15th spot. 16th, Jeffrey Goodpaster. Bruce Heil, 17th. Monty Keller is 18th. Alan Coleman, 19th. And Jeremy Jeffries now rounding out your top 20. Jim Black is 21st. Chris Hartafilak's 22nd. Kelly Horner, 23rd. Martin Karch, 24th. Zach Freeman, 1 lap down, currently in that 25th position. Scott Schroyer, 26th. Ken Hansen, also 27th. Jerry Walters, 28th. Jesse Klein, he's currently 29th. He is 6 laps down. And Don Dangler, he'll finish up 30th position tonight, first car out of the race. That is your full field rundown, sponsored by the DRL Network. We are just about at the 2/3 mark, Todd Stanton. 42 of 66 laps in. And so far, Todd, caution-free. It's been a fantastic race, but it's certainly there through that 2nd round of green flag pit stops. A new complexion here as we've seen this 8-car breakaway at the front of the field.
Yeah, we went from 17 to 8, cut the field in half there for this 8-car breakaway up here in the front of the pack. And like you said, Phil, they are staying single file. I've been trying to go back through. It looks like Carson Krenz now getting drop kicked out of the line by the number 72 of Isaac Johnson. Johnson now going to move up to that 5th spot. Carson Krenz going to drop behind. Looks like Bedoya in that number 68 machine. Alex Davis going to be right there. He is sitting there. but here comes the number 68 machine. He's now down to the bottom side once again. He's trying to get around the 72 machine of Isaac Johnson. He's going to put himself into fifth as Johnson makes a move to the fifth, but here he goes into the back. But now we're still looking around the field here and just watching some of these guys, Phil. And there's like 4-car packs here. I'm looking at, let's take a look at the second pack that I can find here. And I'm looking, and it looks like it's being led by the 210 of Ed Stanclaff. Fast Eddie Lee in that 210 machine. Got Jesse Klein and Scott Schroyer, who is 1 lap down to the field here after his speeding penalty down pit road. So then we got another gap from those guys. They're about 10 seconds back there. We got another gap to, I believe that's number 15 of Matt Watkins. He's 11 seconds back there, and he's trying to march through the field. And we're looking through the field, and the only pack that I see, Phil, that's formed some sort of alliance here is quite a ways back, and that's being led by that 512 machine of Danny Johnston in that number 512. Like I said, he's 13th. He's 26 seconds back, but he has a few cars behind him. It looks to be almost like 9. It is going to be 8 cars behind here.
Yeah, you said that's a big pack there, the 512 of Danny Johnson, Jeffrey Goodpasture, the dog, John Palmer, Monty Keller, Bruce Heil, Todd Shue, and all those guys all in that pack. But as you said, Todd, 26 seconds rather off the race lead. That's a half a lap around this speedway. It is a big one, a 2.66 mile super speedway here at Talladega. Those guys a half lap behind, Todd. You know, what more can you do if you're in that second pack besides ride around in the single file and hope for the benefit of a caution? We haven't seen one of those yet tonight, and by the looks of this race, Todd, I'm not so sure we will here. These guys seem to be get all these things all sorted out here tonight, and great racing all over the speedway.
Yeah, the flagger might have even forgot that flag here this evening at the Talladega Superspeedway. Not sure. We'll just have to see what happens, though. But I don't want to jinx it, Phil. It's been a great race here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Fantastic race. These guys are putting on one whale of a show. And yeah, we see a lot of single file, but to get to this point, we had 2 green flag pit stops so far. The guys had a few errors on pit road, some of them speeding penalties, some of them trying to cut the grass and do a little bit of landscaping there. But it's been pretty good, Phil, so far. I mean, you haven't seen no collisions on the track. You've seen some contact on pit road, but most of it is single car spins or maybe even contact between 2 cars.
Well, and you come to Talladega and you expect to see some of that. I mean, when you get to these big packs and you're on off pit road, because at a place like Talladega, as everybody knows, you got to have a dance partner when you come to pit road. You can't afford to lose the draft and not have a dance partner out there, because, I mean, just face it, you're probably about 3 to 4 seconds slower when you run by yourself versus this draft. So, you know, all this coming into account, and just one brief mistake, Todd. You've seen contact here before between a couple of drivers that have put them behind the 8 ball or black flags, as we've seen in Martin and Kelly's case here a little while ago, that just put you so far behind. And, you know, those guys currently outside the top 20 and still digging here in this caution-free race. But as I said, everything's going to go right in a place like Talladega. And these guys at the front of the field, the Joe Allens, Derek Justices of the world, those top 2, they did everything just right so far, Todd. And they are single file running that low side as a race lead with turn 3.
Yeah, they're staying single file. The 22 of Gary Piccolo, the 88 of Craig Meyer, he's running in that 4th spot. Craig Meyer looking up through the field here and just looking to see where Craig Meyer qualified at. Craig Meyer qualified 25th on the field. Gary Piccolo in that number 22 machine. He also started towards the rear of the field here, Phil. Yeah, he started 29th on the field in that number 22 machine. So some of these guys started way in the back, but they worked their way up through with great pit stops.
No, certainly had great pit stops, and we've seen, Todd, it's been right around that 16 to 17 lap mark. These guys have come to pit road, so if my math is correct, you know, that's about 17:34. You know, we're looking here close to lap number 50, so probably about another 2 or 3 laps we may see these guys once again come on the pit road. My math, Todd, this may, or I think they're going to be close. This might be the last time they have to come down for service. What's going to be your strategy play the last time you hit pit road? Are you going to take tires? Or you just go and gas and go?
Well, you're going to have to take 2 full cans of Sunoco Racing Fuel down there on pit road, and you could gamble with left side tires because they're a little bit faster than the right side tires coming down on pit road. But my strategy, usually I take no tires on my last green flag pit stop. If I want to stay with that lead pack, it's going to cut a couple of seconds off of that, maybe a second or less off of your pit stop, not putting tires on there, Phil. So I'm just saying that I would put no tires, get my 2 cans of Sunoco Racing Fuel, and back out.
Yeah, I think you're right, Todd. I think that's exactly the strategy I would use as well. Come down, get your tires on, get your gas, spend as little time down there as you possibly can, hit your marks absolutely on the mark, and you may find yourself a victory lane here in about 17 laps of the Premier Cup Series here at the Talladega Superspeedway. You can be part of this great series here. We're 10 races in. We still got 11 more shows here we're going to do in 2016. TDR-Racing.net is the home of the DRTV Premiere Cup Series that we partner up here with DRL Network and TDR Racing. Be a part of this great series. So much great racing to go, and you could maybe punch your ticket into the Path to Premier Scramble here in 2016. Got 20 more shots at it after tonight. Try to win a race and charge your way into the top 20 in the point standings. It may be a challenge now, but the point structure here at TDR, you gain points based on the size of field. So we had 30 cars here tonight. Your race winner is going to be racing for 30 points here this evening. It's based on the field structure. So a big field, you come out and win, you may gain a lot of points in one night. So come on over, TDR-Racing.net, and be part of this 2016 DRTV Premiere Cup Series. As Todd, we've had a developing situation toward the front of this field. We had our first alien abduction here tonight at Talladega.
Yep, they came over and snapped up Joey the Jet Joe Allen, but they threw him back as quickly as they got him. Now he's joining the field once again. But alien abduction aboard that number 6 machine, leading the race, and I don't understand why they go after these leaders every once in a while.
Again, speechless. I don't know how to answer that. Rich Patton and Lightness. Why do you think they go after the aliens? Go after these guys out there with the race lead? Because that certainly did not play us a favor here for our friend Joe Allen at number 6.
No, I agree with you. I think the aliens don't have a lot of practice shooting their beams down to grab the cars, so they're kind of shooting ahead. Looks like we got the whole front pack going in the pits, guys. Back up to you.
Yeah, they certainly did. I wasn't expecting that so quick, Todd, but the math is right. Those guys all come to pit road, and Gary Piccolo with 22, Todd, he's in the grass. I'm down in the pit of the number 48 of Alex Davis. We'll see what that Lowe's Chevrolet does. He was in that lead pack in that 7th position. The 48 on the sign. It looks like, Todd, it's going to be 2 left side tires for Alex Davis this side of pit road. Where are you at, partner?
Well, I was watching Gary Piccolo in that number 22 machine. I know he's going to get one of them unsafe pit entry penalties in that number 22 machine. He was mowing the grass in the 22. Also, Craig Meyer, I believe, was through the grass also. So these guys, lengthy pit stop, costly. I believe we're going to see that lead pack trimmed down from 8 to something different.
Now, this guy is sprinting on the pit road, Todd, looking toward pit road. Will a second pack come in? But no, it looks like it was mainly a 2-tire situation for those guys on the pit road, Todd. I believe here with now less than 15 laps to go, I believe that may have been the right strategy. Is you got developing story down there from the pit side, Todd.
Well, we're just showing you how long and lengthy the number 22 machine of Gary Piccolo. He's just coming out on the track. I believe it's a 30-second penalty if you have an unsafe pit entry when you go out into the grass. And I believe Craig Meyer also with that. That's real costly, Philly. And we're going to have to see when this repacks, where Gary Piccolo and Craig Meyer fall, because they were in that lead pack. Costly mistake.
No, it certainly is. We're going to allow timing and scoring here to reset, as pit road seems to be an ultra busy place here this time by. Looking like the 112 of Chris Felix has been on pit road. Monty Keller down there in the 028. The 55 of Scott Schroyer, he's starting to make his way, come down pit road, is a 55 off of turn number 4. And just seeing these guys, Todd, all spread out all over the speedway. Everybody trying to come on and off pit road. Maybe gathered up a dancing partner, but 2 guys who have certainly partnered up is our top 2. Alex Davis and Derek Justice, Todd, they have a 3-second or better lead on the field here as they're off of turn 2.
Yeah, 3-second lead, and there's only 2 of them there pushing there, but they're going to be catching, I believe that's the number 86 of Jim Black there, and they're going to catch him. Maybe he'll drop in and help these 2 guys try to stay in front of the second pack. They are 3.332 seconds back. And that's being led by Carson Krins, the 72 of Isaac Johnson, and the 68 of Bedoya, and there's 3 cars versus 2 cars right now, Phil. It's going to be tough for them guys to catch them. One whale of a pit stop for the 48 of Alex Davis and the 31 of Derek Justice.
Yeah, it's going to be a long road to hoe for those guys trying to run down the race leaders. They may pick up, some help there. We're seeing Carson Krenz pulling that second pack. Carson currently in that 3rd spot. They're about to chase down the 60 of Zach Freemow. Can them guys maybe get some help there? You also see Jim Black also just ahead of them, as well as Alan Coleman of 36. If those guys are to hook up, Todd, can they run down those lead two up front here now with about 12 laps to go?
I think that's an awful big gap to overcome. I don't think they're going to be able to do so because they're getting help from some of these lap cars that are with them, and I believe there's a few of them that are going to be with them. It looks like they're going to run down. It looks like Jerry Walters in that 28 machine. He's the next victim to be ran down by the 48 machine and the 31 of Alex Davis. But as I say that, Phil, it went from 3.3 seconds down to 2.3 seconds between first, second, and third, fourth, and fifth.
I think, Todd, you're going to see this second pack here with Carson Krenz in it. Third on back, Isaac Johnson, Mauricio Bedoya there as well. They're three wide. They're trying to make their way forward down the backstretch toward turn 3. But as you said, it was 2.3 seconds last time by. If those three drivers there on the lead lap can gather up with those guys that are just off the lead lap there, I believe they're going to chase down those top two, Todd. They got a big head of steam there, chasing them down now off of turn 4.
Yeah, they are chasing them down off of turn number 4. It's Davis and the 31 of Derek Justice, but here comes the 103 of Carson Krenz, the 72 of Isaac Johnson, and Bedoya in that 68 machine. 10 laps to go, 10 more circuits around the Talladega Super Speedway, and they are reeling them in, Phil. 1.4 seconds back. You might as well say that they have caught them.
Well, I don't want to say, prematurely they may have caught him, as there's lap traffic ahead here now. Jerry Walters, a 28, Monty Kello, the 028. Those guys are coming down a lap there as we speak down the backstretch. For that second pack, Todd, they are there. They are closing with a rapid head of speed. Carson Krenz trying to get a sniff on those lead guys, Todd. Those top two, they've gained those 2 lap cars. But I think that second pack, Todd, with Carson, Isaac, and Mauricio, I think they've caught them. I think this is now going to be a 5-car race to the win here, but less than 10 laps to go.
Yeah, I indeed think so too. It's going to be a 5-car race here. We're going to see this time by as they get ready to flash by the start-finish line. We're going to have 9 laps to go around the Talladega Super Speedway. It looks like, yep, 0.755 between Carson Krenz and your current lead pack, Phil, so they have caught him.
No, they are there. It is now officially a 5-car race, and you've got some lap cars sprinkled in there as well. They may come down to playing the deciding factor here. 57 laps of 66 in as they work down the backstretch. Here comes Carson Krenz with a terrific run on the outside, Todd. He's going to make that march now. He's around the lap traffic. He's made it to the bumper to the 31 of Derek Justice, Todd. Will Derek stay in line? Will the outside lane prevail? They're going to be 2 wide now for second off of turn 4.
Yeah, 31 of Derek Justice gliding up the track, trying to kill that run, but he's not going to be able to do so. Here comes Carson Krenz, Isaac Johnson, and the 68 machine. They are on the high side, and they're just a tooling down the front straightaway here into turn number 1. The 103 of Carson Krenz now pulling up alongside the 48 of Alex Davis. They are side by side going into 1.
Yeah, they are side by side through 1 and 2. The inside lane prevailing there at the exit of the corner. Alex peeks that low Chevrolet to the lead. Derek looking to the low side. Alex will throw the block. Here comes Carson, the 103. They have lap traffic up ahead, Todd. 2 wide for the race lead to turn 3.
Yeah, 2 wide for the race lead, and Derek Justice in the middle. He's going to be the worst for the wear right now in that 31 machine. No help from behind. Justice looks like he's going to have to drop in line behind the 72 of Johnson, but Justice holding his own in that middle groove.
He certainly is, but that opened the door for the 72 of Isaac Johnson. We've seen him win on the restrictor plates here at Daytona here a year ago in the Premiere Cup Series. He certainly knows his way around. He's a feature winner this season in 2016, and now he's found his way to the runner-up spot through turns number 1 and 2. Can Alex Davis hold on, Todd? They are less than 8 laps remaining as they work off the exit of turn 2.
Yeah, less than 8 laps remaining. Now the 103 of Carson Krenz. He had one wheel run on the top side. He's falling back. Looks like the 48 machine is now on the top side there with help from Justice, but here comes the 72 of Johnson. Johnson now trying to work over the 48. Derek Justice leaves the back bumper, the 48 of Alex Davis. Here comes Justice up next to Alex Davis. They're side by side coming off of turn number 4. Down through the trial of Justice right now going to be able to get to second. Johnson drifts up the track in that 72 machine. He comes down, tries to slam the door, realizes Justice is there.
Yeah, he certainly realized he was there. Derek with the run there. They're 2 wide, 2 by 2. Now it looks like lap car, Bruce Heil, might have dropped in there. Not sure who that was. That Team Realtree Machine, third car in line on the inside lane, trying to shove Derek on through. I think the sleeper in this pack, Todd, is right to the rear of the Justice Machine. I think Mauricio Mendoza is in the right spot, Todd. He's that second car on the low side, too wide for the race lead down the back straightaway.
Yeah, too wide down the back straightaway. Johnson right now being able to hold on to that lead, but here comes the 31 of Derek Justice being able to pull up alongside the 72 here through turn number 3 and off of turn number 4. They're side by side here off of 4, Phil. Who's it going to be here? It's going to be 5 laps to go. The 5 is in the hand. 5 laps to go here at the Talladega Superspeedway.
Yeah, we certainly need to catch our breath because we are having one whale of a race, caution-free through the first 61 laps. 5 more laps, 5 more circuits around this 2.66-mile Talladega Superspeedway YouTube chat box. I see 20-plus of you guys out there watching right now. Who is going to win this thing? I've seen one prediction for the 48. What do you guys out there think? The challenge is out to you here, Todd. With less than 5 laps to go, the outside lane peeking out. Now Isaac going to bring it down to the low side as they hit turn 3.
Yeah, Isaac Johnson working both areas of the draft here, working on the bottom side and the top side in that number 72 machine, trying to keep the lead here. Is now here comes the 31 of Derek Justice. He's still side by side with the 48 of Alex Davis.
Side by side for that second spot, still all chasing that Isaac Johnson machine as they hit the line to put 62 up on the board. He's got his way out to the race lead all by his lonesome. It's Derek Justice. It's Alex Davis side by side for second. Bedoya there as well. Carson Krenz, those 5 cars racing with a race win there. Todd, throw a blanket off him over the exit of turn 2.
Yeah, you have lap cars that are involved there trying to help some of the leaders. Justice around! Justice is around on the back straightaway. It looks like a bumper grab gone wrong, and I believe that's going to bring out a yellow flag there, Phil. Derek Justice around and hard into the outside wall.
Wow, if the complexion of the race just didn't change right there, I think, Todd, with so many laps left here to go, I believe we're racing back to the line. We're racing for the race win as they come off of now into turn number 3. Into turn number 4, the first yellow flag of the night. This one may end the race as they exit off the exit of turn number 4. It is a 72 of Isaac Johnson, the 68 of Bedoya, the 103 of Carson Krenstad. Here they come looking to the low side off of turn 4.
Yeah, it looks like these guys are under yellow flag now, Phil, as the 72 of Isaac Johnson there beat him back to the line. The 68 machine, the 103 of Carson Krenz. We'll have to see what's going to go on and see what's going to go on here. Yellow flag number 1 here at the Talladega Superspeedway. One whale of a race, and it had to come down to bring out the yellow here with 4 laps to go, 3 laps to go now, Phil.
3 laps to go, and Todd, we've turned many laps here at the Talladega Superspeedway with so many cars a lap down. I think we may see the end of the race here, Todd. You think I'm correct? I think we're going to see this thing end under caution.
I think it's going to end under caution here. Unfortunately, that's not where we wanted to end it here at the Talladega Superspeedway, but we could be wrong there, Phil. But we've been wrong a time or two here. But I think we're going to end up in yellow.
Now, we'll have to see what's going to happen here with 3 laps remaining here. The field in turn number 3 and 4. You know, I think we've seen the conclusion of this thing, Todd. You know, I can't imagine anybody going to give up track position from here. But there was great racing, a 5-car battle there for the race win in the closing laps. And Rich Patton contact amongst those front 5 cars. Derek Justice, Alex Davis, things going wrong on those camps. So, Rich, down to you. Show us what happened.
Yeah, we didn't get a real good angle to see who actually made the contact, but there was definitely contact. It looked to be between Davis and Justice, but we'll leave up the race officials to call that one. We're going to go ahead and run this out. Either way it goes, Justice is facing the wrong way almost immediately. That's going to put Davis and Justice buck up against the wall. Looks like we're getting a little bit of nose riding there on Justice. Meanwhile, Davis sitting there trying to get dizzy right down the middle of the racetrack for a little while. Tough break as you see the big donut on the driver's side of the door on Justice's car. These 2 guys were in it to win it right up front, and next thing you know, they make contact, and now they're at the back of this lead pack. Tough break for these 2 guys when they were being picked to win. Back up to you guys.
Yeah, certainly a tough break there as the field working its way down the back straightaway into turn number 3. And Todd, I believe we're going to be 2 laps to go at the line. Said this is the first time by on pit road, so the second time by the lap cars come around. I certainly don't think we're going to see this thing restart. I think we've seen the end of this race under green flag conditions, and congratulations to Isaac Johnson, Todd. He ran a great race, put himself in position, and it looks like he's about to pick up his second win here in the year 2016.
Yeah, good race by the number 72 of Isaac Johnson. Wasn't sure if that second pack was going to be able to catch Alex Davis and the 31 of Derek Justice, but they did it. They proved me wrong there, Phil. It was a great race all in all here. One caution flag here for 66 laps. That's an amazing feat in itself.
It certainly made for just a fantastic race. You know, we've seen this great 2-3 wide racing all over the Talladega Superspeedway here tonight, and you know, as Todd has whispered in my ear, we had 30 drivers take the green flag. Looks like 29 of them are going to finish up here tonight through this checkered flag, and that's an unprecedented feat here, Todd. You just have one driver fall out, and I think it was just mechanical failure on their end as far as just their connection. Nothing with the race car or whatever. Just want to do the right thing and pull out a line, and didn't want to risk the safety of anybody else out there. And just a big hats off to all these guys out there, persevering, as we've said so many times here. You know, mistakes on the pit road, pit stops, just stretching this field out. Just a hats off to all these guys that showed up this evening, because it really made for one terrific race.
Yeah, it did. And just looking at some of these guys, looking up and down through the field, look at the 6 of Joey the Jet, Joe Allen. After alien inductions, he's going to rally back to that 6th finishing position in that number 6. Some of these guys having real good runs. Jeffrey Goodpaster, 10th. John the Dog Palmer, he made his way up to that 9th position. I mean, you got to watch some of these guys that don't normally finish up in the top 10. They are inside the top 10, Phil, as I believe we got the 1 lap to go signal here. So we're going to stay, or the white flag out, so I believe are going to finish under yellow flag conditions.
Well, I think that was a 2 to go marker, Todd, so I think we're going to be coming back to the white flag this time by, and yeah, you said you're not going to get that. It's a green and checker, so unfortunately we're going to see the end of this thing, so let's see if we can't do. We're here 65 laps in under the caution flag. Let's see if we just can't recap the field here while we have this a brief minute before this thing becomes official under the checkered flag. It's going to be Isaac Johnson going to pick up the unofficial win. Mauricio Bedoya, Carson Krenz, Ed Stancliffe, Matt Watkins rallies for a great top 5 finish. Joey the Jet, Joe Allen 6th, Ryan Johnson a great run in that 7th spot. Alex Davis 8th. The Dog John Palmer will finish up 9th. Jeffrey Goodpaster, he'll have a solid top 10 run. Chris Artefilax 11th. Danny Johnston 12th. Craig Meyer 13th. Jeremy Jeffries 14th. Bruce Heil looks like he'll finish up unofficially in that 15th spot. Martin Karch will finish 16th. Kelly Horner 17th. Todd Schuin 18th. Derek Justice will fall all the way back to that 19th position. And Zach Freemow unofficially looks like will finish up in the top 20. 21st, Alan Coleman. 22nd, Jim Black. 23rd, Dennis Chambers. 24th, Scott Schroyer, and Gary Piccolo looks like he'll finish up tonight, 25th. Certainly the finish he didn't want here at Talladega tonight. Ken Hansen, 26th, 1 lap down. Jerry Walters, 27th. Monty Keller, 28th. Jesse Klein, 29th. And Don Dangler, the only car out of the event. He'll finish up in the 30th spot here tonight, as Todd, the white flag, is going to be out over this field next time around. And that's going to put the unofficial crown on Isaac Johnson here. Looks to be your winner here tonight at Talladega.
Yep, white soak definitely going to come this time by, and it's been a great race all night, Phil. We've had quite a few lead changes here early on in the going. I mean, we had green flag pit stops all through the going here. The first 2 green flag pit stops, we went from a huge pack to 17 cars, then we went down to 8 cars, and then the last pit stop that we had, Phil, went down to 5 cars there, and we had a 2-car breakaway there momentarily, but Isaac Johnson was leading that second pack. He made the charge to the front here and able to pick up the win here in that number 72 machine. As like we said, we're going into turn number 1 with the 72 of Isaac Johnson, barring any kind of mechanical failure. That's still not out the window. I've seen it happen there, Phil, but Isaac Johnson right now should be your unofficial winner, with Bedoya in that number 68 machine, 2nd, 3rd Carson Krenz, 4th should be the number 210 of Ed Stancliffe, and Matt Watkins will round out your top 5. Looking down through the field there, though, Phil, your first place points getter, right now your current points leader, Derek Justice, who was involved in that finish, is going to finish 19th. So that's one of those key factors. Alex Davis going to finish up in front of him 11 spots. He was 3rd place in the running order. Not sure who was 2nd in the running order there, Phil. You were saying there early on in the going, maybe you'd be able to fill me in.
Well, just looking up and down the field here, Todd, as Derek had that 25-point lead on Ken Hansen tonight. Yeah, as the field working its way now, I think down off of the backstretch into turn number 3 for the last time. But Derek had that 25-point marker over Ken Hansen. As you said, Derek going to finish up 19th. Ken Hansen going to finish up 26th. He'll take a hit for sure. But you said Alex Davis, he was currently 3rd spot, winless here so far in 2016. 26 markers back. He's going to finish up 8th, Todd. So that's going to gain 11 points on Derek there. So that'll put him unofficially about 15 back going into next week here at the Kansas Motor Speedway. A lot of racing still left here to go, but I think the big winner here tonight, looking up and down the point standings, Ryan Johnson came in tonight, Todd, with a surprising 6th in the points, 49 points back off the points due to Derek Justice, but Ryan solidly going to finish up in that 7th spot here tonight, Todd. I think he's the big winner this week in the point standings.
Yeah, another guy that I would like to say as you're looking at the point standings, but the 210 of Ed Stancliffe, he finishes 4th here this evening. Great run for Fast Eddie Lee. One of his, I think this is his best run here in the Premiere Cup Series, but great run for Ed Stancliffe in one of them Insomniac Motorsports sponsored machines. Also John the Dog Palmer in that 108 machine. He's going his 2nd top 10 of the year, so that's a great job by John the Dog Palmer. As checker flag waves over the 72 of Isaac Johnson, we are concluded here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Isaac Johnson taking home the win.
Yeah, Isaac Johnson for certain going to take home the win. Bedoya will finish up in the 2nd spot. Carson Krenz will finish up in the 3rd spot there. Ed Stancliffe, as you said, having a great run to finish up in the 4th position, Todd. And Matt Watkins, number 15. That is your finishing up in the top 5. We'll see if we can't get the top 3 screened out here, Todd. So if you can just carry this for a couple of seconds here, I'll see if we can't get these top 3 guys screened out.
I don't know how much carrying I'll be able to do, but looking down through here, it was a great race. A lot of good drivers here tonight. Todd Truan led some laps here. There was quite a few lap leaders here this evening at the Talladega Super Speedway, and like we said, most of these restrictor plate tracks, you're gonna see a different guy win a race because it's a game changer. Talladega is, and you're always looking for that big wreck. And it wasn't such a huge wreck here this evening, but it was definitely an impact for that 31 of Derek Justice. Phil's still trying to scurry around, trying to get communications here, make sure Rich is. I believe he's dashing down to victory lane in trying to catch up with the race winner Isaac Johnson. And it's funny to see Rich run down to victory lane. He's got that microphone, he's got that backpack, he's got all kinds of things on him there, and Rich dashing down to victory lane. But I believe Phil found his way down to that third place finisher. I believe the 103 of Carson Krenz.
Yes, Todd, I have indeed caught up with the driver of the 103 of Carson Krenz. Carson, man, congratulations. A 3rd place finish here tonight. Certainly had that thing rolling, and I'm sure you're going to be tickled to death there with that 3rd place run. Tell us about it.
Yeah, that was a ball. I mean, I didn't have a great qualifying lap, and I just kind of worked my way up. Was hoping to work with someone, but he got into trouble, and then I just it was just a great race all the way around. I mean, I moved up to the front, and I was able to stay near the front the whole race, and I think that was the key.
I said we saw only one caution flag here tonight, Carson. It was right at the very end. You guys were out there caution-free for the first 62 laps. Tell us what it was like out there in that pack. You seen that thing go from like 30-plus, about 28 drivers, down to 17 in that lead pack, and then whittle it down all the way to 8 and then to 5 there at the end of that last run. What was that thing like out there tonight out there in pack racing? Because you were mixed up in that quite a bit.
You know what? There was a lot of clean racing. I mean, I'm surprised. I wasn't really seeing a lot of close calls or anything, at least where I was at. Everyone was just giving and taking quite a bit. I mean, it was very fun. It was so much fun out there. Just got in a rhythm and was able to stay where I was at. And, you didn't have to worry that people were going to make these wild or crazy moves. You knew they were coming toward the end, but no, I was just very happy with my race tonight. I just really am.
Well, Carson, you certainly did a great job. You came in tonight 9th in the point standings, just on the outside looking in as far as it comes to the scramble here in 2016. But certainly with that 3rd place finish, you're going to put yourself right in that thick now, competing for that last spot here as guys who have not yet won a race in 2016. I want to give you the microphone one more time, buddy. The great 3rd place finish tonight for the 103. The microphone is all yours. Give a shout to whoever you'd like. Thank your sponsors. The microphone is all yours, bud.
Hey, I want to thank you guys at TDR and DRL. I mean, you guys have done a great job each and every week. The racing's been really good, and it just seems to be getting better every week. I'm kind of holding my own in the points, and you know, I want to get in the chase. You know, I'd love to win a race here, I'll tell you.
Well, Carson, once again, congratulations on a third-place finish and doing exactly what you need to do to put yourself into the scramble for 2016. So once again, thanks for a few words and congratulations on a third-place run. Todd, rather, I'm going to throw it down to you. I believe you've caught up with the driver of 68, Mauricio Bedoya. Let's see if we can't talk to Mauricio, Todd. So down to you.
Yeah, indeed. I have caught up with driver of the number 6, Mauricio. Mauricio, fantastic race again. I get to interview you once again. You finished second here tonight.
Yeah, guys, yeah, it was wonderful because the second place is really good for the championship. The 72 was a great driver, and he won, and that's it. A fantastic place.
Well, I'm sure you're looking forward to getting a couple of wins here later on in the season. What track are you most looking forward to try to bring home a win here, Mauricio?
I think about it in road course. I like it a lot. Like, think about it in Watkins Glen and in Phoenix. That track very funny for me, and I'm faster in that track.
Well, I know you're looking forward to another win here. I believe you have one win here this season, but you're making your way up through the point standings here, Mauricio, and looking forward to this championship. But I'm going to give you the microphone. The floor is all yours. You can thank whoever you want to thank, Mauricio.
Yeah, guys, it's really good for the championship, and I won in Brisbane and was good, and it's very good for the championships. I mean, that these guys are really faster, and it's good for the season, and I like it this season because it's a lot of driver, and thank you guys for this workout, and it was amazing.
Well, again, congratulations on your second place finish here tonight, Mauricio, and good luck to you here the rest of the season. And I hope to see you down in Victory Lane in one of these upcoming races here on DRTV.
Okay, thank you guys. See ya.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, that's our second place finisher, driver of the number 68, Mauricio Bedoya. I'm going to throw it down to Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton, who was running down to catch up with the number 72 of Isaac Johnson, our winner here at Talladega.
Yeah, Todd, you ain't kidding. It's a long run down here. I finally made it. Isaac, I'm out of breath from running, buddy, but congratulations on the win tonight, man. One heck of a race.
What was that? I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time hearing. I got a bunch of people whispering in my ear.
Yeah, kidding. It's crowded down here in Victory Lane. I was going to say, one heck of a race that was going on out there. Congratulations on the win. And hats off, man. Tell us about what it was like.
Oh, I had a blast running tonight with only that one caution there. I was hoping to just go green all the way to the end, but it got crazy there for a little while there at the beginning and towards the midway of the race, and then we got strung out there. So it kind of the intensity level kind of came down there, and then whenever right after that last pit stop, it went right back up once me, Carson, and Mauricio caught back up to that pack, and it was fun. I love racing these super speedways.
Yeah, no kidding. The cameras were on you guys on that second pack trying to catch those two guys that got out front. They had one heck of a jump coming off that last pit stop with you guys. Just amazing that you guys all worked together and was able to get up there and you know, put it to the test and get their car out front. And so congratulations again on the win. We're going to go ahead and give the mic and the floor to you, buddy, to thank who got you here. And again, congratulations.
Thank you. I'd like to thank Mark Karch because he signed me onto his team this year, and he paid my entry into the series. You guys over at DRTV, DRL Network, for doing these great broadcasts that you do. I'm looking forward to going and watching it right after I get off here. And I'd like to thank Alex Davis at the end of the race there, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have won the race. He gave me a huge push on the outside there so I could clear Derek and be able to use that low lining with 5 to go to my advantage.
Yeah, 10-4, I hear that. I was thinking while you were talking that you were the car that I was watching the apron early on in the race. It looked like it got out from under you. You got down the apron in the corner. You were able to do some fantastic driving and keep that car under control. So give me something about that moment. That had to get you to going.
Yeah, that honestly scared the crap out of me. Because, I mean, it caught me a little bit off guard. Because, I mean, every now and then I'd clip the apron anyway, running in the corner so low, trying to get as much as I can going through the turns. And, I mean, I clipped the apron a few times earlier in the race, and then I clipped it that one time, and it grabbed my spoiler almost, and it just pulled me down there. I almost lost it, and I was more worried about trying to make sure I didn't take anyone else out with me. But it was crazy. I didn't think I was gonna be able to hold on to it, and if I did, I was thinking if I did hold on to it, I thought I was gonna lose the draft.
Yeah, no kidding. It looked like you were getting ready to come right back up into the track, right into the lead pack. It was going to take out the whole front of the field. So great handling by your car, great driving by yourself, and congratulations again on the win. We're going to go ahead and let you get back to your friends and family and do some celebrating here in Victory Lane. So race fans, there's your race winner today, Isaac Johnson. Congratulations, buddy.
All right, Todd. Well, we've seen a fantastic race here. Premiere Cup Series race number 10 here in 2016, the Talladega Superspeedway. You know, Talladega always has a whole bunch of buzz and hype around it, and it certainly lived up to the hype here tonight, Todd. We've seen caution-free up to the very end here. One caution flag, and unfortunately ended the race under the yellow. But, you know, Todd, you know, all things are said when you come to Talladega. It was one fantastic race tonight here, and just a big hats off to all these guys that are out there on the Speedway this evening.
Yeah, fantastic job by all the drivers out there at the Talladega Superspeedway. Like we said, Phil, 29 cars finished this race. We started 30, and it was only because of a connection failure is why we didn't have 30 cars finish. Fantastic racing all evening long, lots of give and take. That's what the DRTV Premiere Cup Series is all about.
Well, that's what this series is all about. And he said if you'd like to be a part of this series, you know, registration's still open for it. TDR-racing.net. Come get involved. The form located at the very top right of the TDR website. We'd love to have you aboard here in 2016 to be part of this. You know, 10 races in, 26 races still remaining here on the schedule. So much great racing here still to come here in the year of 2016. DRL Network will return to the Premiere Cup Series in 2 weeks at the Dover International Speedway. Cannot wait to get to Dover Downs in 2 weeks and see what the Monster Mile is going to have in store for us. We'll be there 2 weeks from tonight. And then a week later, we got a lot of great stuff coming up here, guys. The Indianapolis 500 over at Blazing Pedals on May the 22nd, I believe a Sunday afternoon. I can't wait to get over there to see what that is going to be all about. The Indianapolis 500, all the prestige of that race. We're going to see the NR 2003 version here on May the 22nd. But that's not all. The following night, Monday night, the 23rd of May, the Race for the Cure race over at our friends at the SMO Hardcore Clan. That's on Monday night, the 23rd. And if that's not enough, the following night, that's right, 3 nights in a row on the air. Tuesday night, May the 24th, the Excel Racing All-Star Race. Going back over to the Excel Racing Clan. Haven't caught up with those guys in quite a while. Can't wait to get back over there as well. So 3 action-packed nights of racing here. So much great stuff going on over here in the month of May. DRLnetwork.com is the home base for us here. Check out the event schedule there. If you'd like to get your league on DRTV, the event request form there as well and open. We'd love to be over to your place and showcase everything you got going on. So until next 2 weeks away at the Dover Downs International Speedway, for my broadcast partners, Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton in the booth, Todd staying up here in the broadcast booth with me. My name Phil Lacasse. We'll see you next time for the next installment of DRTV live on the DRL Network. Good night.